Welcome to Lesson 7 on direct objects. Now this is something new that we are covering and learning about. So let's talk a little bit about what a direct object is. One important thing that you need to know is that a direct object will always come in a sentence with an action verb. Okay, direct objects have to have an action verb in order to be in the sentence. Well, let's talk a little bit about what that means. Well, a direct object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. Now, this part is very important. It's a noun or pronoun. That's what you need to know, is that when you're looking in a sentence for a direct object, it's always going to be a noun or pronoun. Now, one thing is, when you get to the sentence, in order to find the direct object and to figure out if it is receiving the action of the verb, is you can ask yourself whom or what. And I'll go through some sentences so that'll make a little bit of sense. But for example, let's look at the sentence. The Johnsons have a parrot. Well, if we're looking for the subject of the sentence, what noun or pronoun is this sentence about? Well, it's about the Johnsons, so we know that that is the subject of the sentence. Now, we know every sentence has to have a verb, a subject, and a verb. So the Johnsons have. Okay, now this is an action verb because you can have. Now, have can be a helping verb, but it can also be an action verb. And when it's an action verb, it's almost as if it's possessive, like they have. They have a possession, they hold it in their possession. So they have is our action verb. Now, let's go back to the questions, whom or what. The Johnsons have whom or what? They have a parrot. Now, remember, when we're looking for the direct object, we are looking for a noun or a pronoun in the sentence. So parrot is a noun or pronoun. So that is our direct object. Okay, let's look at another sentence. Amy likes her new neighbors. Well, what noun or pronoun is this sentence about? Usually towards the beginning of the sentence, especially as you have simple sentences. This sentence is about Amy, so she is our subject. Now we're looking for an action verb. When you're looking for an action verb, ask yourself, can you do it? One kind of a long way to get there, but if it's helpful, is to go through each of the words. Can you Amy? Can you likes? Can you her? Can you new? Can you neighbors? Well, I can like, so I know that that's my action verb. Amy likes. Amy likes who or what? She likes, and we're looking for a noun or pronoun later in the sentence, she likes neighbors. So we know that in this sentence, neighbors is the direct object. Now, not every sentence, and that's what they're talking about here, not all non-linking verbs have direct objects. The sentences do not have to have a direct object. When you have a subject and a verb, and that verb is action, it can stand on its own. For example, in a sentence, she smiles. That's a complete sentence all on its own, and smiles is an action verb. But if you have a linking verb, you have to have a subject complement, either a predicate adjective or a predicate nominative. The sentence is not a complete sentence without it. So that's one distinction. Direct objects are not necessary. Now, how do we diagram the sentence? The direct object is preceded by a vertical line that stands on the horizontal line. So if we look at this sentence, he likes Amy. What's the sentence about? He is the subject. What is he doing? Well, he likes, so that's our action verb. Now, he likes whom or what? He likes Amy. So we know that Amy is a direct object. Now, what's different than a linking verb is you use this straight up and down line for direct objects. This is the distinction when you look at diagramming. If the line is angled, we know it's a linking verb. If it's straight up and down, we know it's an action verb. So it's very important that when you draw this line, you're deliberately drawing it straight up or diagonal. So he likes Amy, subject, action verb. Amy is receiving the action of verbs because we know likes who or what? Amy. Let's look at another sentence. She has a little brother. All right, she is the subject of the sentence. Has is our action verb. Now we need to see, do we have a direct object in the sentence? She has whom or what? She has brother. And this is our direct object, which we know needs to be a noun or pronoun. Now, what's important, remember that for the direct object, we're asking ourselves the question whom or what to identify it. Now, as I go through the sentence, as I have my baseline, she has brother. She has brother. Now I'm left with a and little. Now we know a, as we talked about before, is an article, which is always an adjective. A, an, and the. Very rarely in grammar can you say always. So in this case, we can tell you are always going to serve as an adjective. So it's a brother, and we also have another modifier, descriptive word, and it's a little brother. So a and little go underneath brother, and they are both adjectives describing. Now let's go to our sentences. Our new principal drinks hot chocolate. Draw our cross there. Now, what noun or pronoun is the sentence about? Well, the sentence is about principal, so we know that that is the subject of our sentence. And that is our subject. Now, what does this principal do? Our principal drinks hot chocolate. Well, the principal drinks, so we know that that's our verb. Now we want to see, is it action or linking? It's action. So we need to see, do we have a direct object? We don't have to have one, but let's see whom or what. Principal drinks whom or what? Drinks hot chocolate. So if we look at this, she drinks chocolate. Okay, so I'll cross off the words as we use them. So chocolate is our direct object. Principal drinks chocolate. Now we go through and we have quite a few descriptive words. Just as we talked about in the last lesson, are as a possessive pronoun can be used as an adjective in the sentence. So it's our principal and it's a new principal. So we diagram them on a diagonal line below, being careful to capitalize the first word of our sentence. And hot describes chocolate. So we put that as a descriptive word under chocolate. So we have an adjective, lots of adjectives here in our sentence, and we've used all of the words. My friends have visited many great places. Now the sentence, the noun or pronoun that the sentence is about is friends. That is our subject. What has the friends done? Well, they visited, that's our main verb, and have is our helping verb right next to it. So we know together that this is working as our verb phrase. So friends have visited, both the full verb phrase goes in the verb spot. Have visited. And I ask myself, is that linking or action? Can I do it? I can visit, so I know that that's an action verb. So I need to see if I have a direct object, which I don't have to have. Friends have visited who or what? They have visited, and I'm looking for a noun or pronoun. They have visited places. So I draw a straight up and down line, just like I have in all of these. Visited places as our direct object. Now I'll cross off the words that I used them. Have visited places. My describes friends as an adjective. So it's my friends. And many places, they visited many places and they visited great places. Both of those are words describing places. Many places and great places. And we've diagrammed the sentence. Now for number 3, she will be the new counselor. So as we look at this, we have the subject of our sentence is she. Now let's look for our verb. I'm looking for, see, do we have an action verb? Can I, she, can I, will, can I be, can I, the, can I, new, can I, counselor? I can't do any of those things. So we must have a linking verb here. So if we look at the words, we find out that will be is our linking verb. And we know with a linking verb, we have to have a subject complement. There has to be a word that balances out she, that either renames she or describes she. So she will be, and we know that the word that we're looking for is going to be on this side of the verb. She will be counselor. So that is our predicate nominative. So we have counselor. Okay, so she will be counselor. She will be the counselor and new counselor. Both of those words describe counselor. Now in this case, we don't have a direct object because of the linking verb. That is the difference. And you can see that we have a diagonal line, an angled line for linking verb, and a straight up and down line for action verbs.